Hey everybody, Aaron Auger coming to you one more time from our production facility here in Peosta, Iowa. Today we're going to go over some of the installation tips and techniques for our mechanical system of water treatment equipment, specifically our WLP-40AB, which is the largest treatment system we manufacture here, and the one that you see in front of me right now. So we're going to talk about the different aspects of the machine, what you need to look forward to as far as installing this, and some of the maintenance techniques that you'll get into once the machine is installed and up and running. So starting on the inlet side of our WLP-40AB, again, this is the largest system we make. It's on a 7x9 foot skid. So the size of it is important to take into consideration when you're speccing this in. But our surface mount sump pump is located right here on this side of the unit, close to the water oil separator portion of it. The sump pump actually includes a basket strainer, which is one of those maintenance items you're going to want to pay attention to. It's going to be periodically needed to be cleaned out, but there is a trap inside of there, so any floating debris that accumulates inside of your sump pit will get trapped inside of that basket. So it's a nice feature to have to protect the pump. You can see the machine is built on a 7x9 foot poly skid. This is the largest machine that we do. So again, you'll want to take into consideration the size of that when you're speccing this machine in. The water is going to enter in through a 2-inch line coming into your sump pump, which is going to be directly fed from your sump pit. Inside of your sump pit, you're going to have 3 floats, which are going to consist of a blue float on the bottom to control the sump pump, a freshwater makeup float that'll be midway up the line that will control the freshwater, and then a rainwater overflow float at the top, which will control the rainwater overflow, which we'll talk about on the other side of the manifold. So as the water enters into the water oil separator portion of the WLP system, it's a stainless steel tank which contains baffles and oil coalescing media. This oil coalescing media will help to attract the greases and oils that the water oil separator is filtering out, and will get that into your oil decanter. Periodically, your oil decanter will need to be drained, and that free oil will be hauled off just like you would any other oils. There's also an overflow line that goes back to your pit, and again, your pH and ORP probes are located here. pH and ORP probes are something that's going to have to be cleaned probably on an annual basis, and a good pro tip here is to use just some white vinegar to clean those off. The tank drain at the bottom of the water oil separator tank is also useful to drain off any accumulated solids that may have collected over time as you're separating oils and grease in the water oil separation tank. Once we process the water through our water oil separator portion of the WLP series, we need to treat it a little bit more in order to use it again through our pressure washer. We need to clean it up a little bit more in our closed loop recycling process. That's where our filter pump is going to come in, take the processed water through our oil water separator tank, and then send it through our 2 media filters. The first one is a multimedia filter, which contains 4 different layers of media. Then it goes through a polishing filter, which is activated carbon. Both of these filters will require maintenance. The media that's inside of there will have to be changed out on a perhaps annual basis depending on use. And both filters will need to be backwashed. As this system is an auto backwash system, it does it automatically for you, so it's not something that you have to worry about physically doing, but just know that it's cleaning these filters up and it's prolonging the use of the media and making your WLP system more effective. So once our water is filtered through the 2 media filters, it'll go into the black holding tank that we have on there. That water will be held in that tank, and our transfer pump will then pull it out of that tank in order to be able to reuse it and send it back to a pressure washer for reuse. It'll go through the manifold system, which is similar to some of our other units, through a pressure tank, which will pressurize it to 30 to 50 psi, and then allow you to get back, like I said, to your pressure washer for reuse. The manifold system is also going to have, similar to some of our other systems, it's going to have a rainwater overflow and a freshwater makeup to ensure that your system is never too far out of whack as far as the water levels go. When it comes to the control panel on the system, you're going to see on this side these 2 metering pumps that are here. That's pretty important because the chemical aspect of the mechanical systems, this is where that's controlled. The 2 chemicals that you're going to hook up in order to control your pH and your ORP are sodium hypochlorite and aluminum sulfate. Each one of those will have a meter on the front of the control panel that you can set to the levels, which will automatically administer the chemical in to ensure that your pH and your ORP levels never get too far out of whack and allow your treatment system, specifically the media, to perform effectively. All your controls are up front on the control panel: sump pump, filter pump, transfer pump, pH and ORP like I just said, your ozone generator, your auto backwash. Everything is controlled through the control panel itself. You can perform a manual backwash just by pressing this button and holding it for about 3 seconds. You'll hear your auto backwash sensors reverse. You'll hear a little gush of air, and that'll let you know that that's going into backwash mode and that's being performed. The auto backwash solenoids, the auto backwash valves, are controlled via air, like I mentioned. So you will have an air compressor hookup on this side where you'll just have an air line that comes into the system in order for you to be able to do that. It's important because those valves will not shift if you don't have air hooked up to it, or if your air lines are reversed, it's not going to be able to go the right way. So air is very important to that. So again, your pH and ORP probes, which are going to be in line on this side of the control panel, will be routed into the control box through 2 pre-drilled holes that are on the bottom. So once you get those lines installed, you can just simply hook those up, allow them to get into the waste stream, and you can set both your pH and your ORP here on the front of the control panel. Once you have your machine set up and you're fine-tuning it in, the flow meters that are on the machine play an important role. Again, this is a WLP-40, so it'll process 40 gallons a minute, but ideally we'd have that set to about 35 gallons per minute, just in order to have the machine performing at an optimal flow level. So again, that's our WLP-40AB. Again, this is the largest system that we currently manufacture. So there's a little bit more that goes into it as far as not only the installation of it, but also the maintenance of it. If there's anything we missed in this video, feel free to give us a call. We can always be reached at 1-800-553-9053, or you can visit us on the web at www.Mi-T-M.com.